Yeah.
So I'd say definitely. My money's on Emma today, Emma Cunningham.
Yeah, colossal player. Been around a long time, Emma Cunningham from Northern Ireland. But anyway, here we are with the action, and it's Amy Beecham who breaks us off. Yeah, I had the pleasure of being on comms with Amy earlier this week.
Yeah.
And she was bright and breezy and looking forward to the week.
Yeah.
And there she is. Terrific cueist.
If you go deep in both events, I could imagine it would be. I say I could imagine. I've only done it a few times in my life, but it is.
Times? How many world titles you won?
But it is tiring. But you've got the energy of coming off the back of a win. So hopefully she's had a good rest after last night. And
well, that was the thing. I'm just going to quickly jump back to the men's event. In event 1, John McAllister, brilliant, wins that. And then because he went so deep, he had to play very early the next morning in the second event.
Yeah.
He did get through his first round, but I think fatigue caught up with him in his second round, and it just wasn't at the races. It's incredible, isn't it?
It would be interesting because Amy was scheduled to play her first round match in the second event this morning, I believe, and she actually played it last night. So
Wow.
in her last 32 match last night after winning, but Harriet chose to play hers this morning. So it'll be interesting to see as the day goes on, because obviously they're going to go deep. You would expect whether that has an effect as the day goes on.
Well, Harriet Haynes was playing Marion Dew this morning. I was having a little look at that in the arena, and I walked out of 5-2. I have unofficially been told that Harriet has won.
Oh, right.
But that was unofficial. I didn't see that, but here we go. This is where the unofficial bit shows it was unofficial. It's probably still playing.
Well, I will confirm for you. And the final result. Oh,
They are still playing it.
It's currently 6-5.
6-5. I knew it.
6-5 to Harriet at the moment.
I won't say who told me that it had finished. I think they thought it was first to 6, so I think it might have been 6-2, which means
it was 6-2. Yeah,
that's why Marion Juice won 3 in a row. That's an incredible fight back then by the young French girl.
She's such a great player.
Competitor. Like I say, I was watching her out there, and she's very concentrated, isn't she?
It's a nice start frame for Amy. Nice settler, this one.
Champs.
I know.
She's won a few of them. Just having a cue ball clean there. She's got plenty of time, you can see on the clock, to have this done. She's making short work of this first frame. She has a little glance to the corner pocket. No messing. Amy Beecham strikes first and strikes hard. Tippy taps.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But when the balls are open, incredible. Anyway,
that's a lovely break from
that. Is the best split of the match.
Yeah. So let's take.
I mean, you can make a case for both colours, but
yeah.
Might as well take this red while you're on it. Get on the one in the centre.
She's still on it.
You see the spin there on the cue ball, and the cushions seem a little bit spongy on the TV table. It sort of just kills the white a little bit. Good pot. And she's still in there. A little bit more work to do now that yellow's just dropped itself in front of the red that's nearest to black.
Yeah, that's now her problem ball. She's just looking to see if it goes in bottom left, but...
Yeah, it's going to have to be moved. She can have a go now, maybe.
She just wanted a little nudge on that, but...
Yeah, it would have been nice if Emma could have just not rubbed that ball in front of the red and maybe got a dish on it under her belt. Amy, of course, now not going to make things easy for Emma Parker.
Again, that's an example of how focused Amy is, because she could have... I'm not saying it's not in a disrespectful way, because obviously she needed to develop stuff, but she could have maybe had a bit of a go and try and do that shot again.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at it. I thought, did that really just happen? Come through those gaps?
Wow. Wow. Another good opportunity for Amy. Just to, I think it's actually this first shot. If she controls this so that she's got that yellow by the black into the right centre or even the right top, then basically they're all there. But it looks tight.
Decent shot. It's the trouble with those fouls though, because again Amy's had ball in hand, it's put her straight on a bad ball.
Yeah.
They all want just to knock it out, very similar to the previous frame. Amy's certainly not scared of taking on the longer pots.
No.
Where's the cue ball?
White.
Ooh.
That's when you know it's your weekend.
That's when you know you're one of the world's greatest, when you can do that, because it's like if you've just the first time you've played in these sort of tournaments, that goes in off.
Oh yeah, all day long.
That's like no, not you, Amy. You're not going in off. Don't worry about that.
Too good for that. I don't care who you are. You need luck to win any tournament.
I agree.
And it's those little kisses and those little nudges that sometimes make all the difference. Used all of the pocket there, left herself a perfect just to draw it back. So obviously the yellow passes into the bottom left.
Yeah, she's just checking the path there between the two reds.
She does definitely need to be below, because the black obviously doesn't go into the same pocket. So, yeah, she needed to come further back for that, but obviously I think she's going to drop past the black and play it into the left centre.
It just depending on the angle. It could be able to look like a sort of punch run through.
No.
Played it nicely. And there we are. Another 8 ball that's parked into the pocket by Amy Beecham.
So, another monster break from Amy. Looking to finish the match off.
Amy going to try and get things finished up at this visit. In her charge towards the quarter-final. In an ideal world, she'd like to be just straight behind that, wouldn't she, Barbara?
Well, I'm thinking that the plan would be to take that ball. That was the plan, but she's coming away from her work. I think she may choose to. Oh, she's held that well. I thought it was going to be. It looked more of an angle, to be fair.
Yeah.
Slight glance to the heavens, but I think she'll be able to work it out. Again, multiple options. She's just looking, run it through for the yellow up to the top left. She could take the higher yellow with the 2 into the middle and go up and down, but
Yeah, she's just got a slight angle here now just to bring the cue ball across. Great shot.
Easy this game, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Is she a bit high on that? Is she that what she's looking at? Yeah, I think she might have to pull it back between the black and the red. No?
Just off the rail.
She conned
Nicely done.
us. She conned us.
Yeah, she did. Well, it's been a professional performance from Amy Beecham. She's beaten Emma Parker 7 frames to 0. But Emma will be back again. But it's Amy who marches on to the quarterfinals. Don't go too far away. We'll be right back with more action from the Women's Pro Series.
Slightly miss-hit the break, just come across that front ball. Comes up dry.
Red ball's in play.
Interesting to hear the champ's comments after that first round win. Simon absolutely loves the new format for the ladies. Huge difference, huge new challenge, and it's one of those rare circumstances where there's obviously been a big change made. Lost a turn shot from Emma, that's cute. And lots of big changes, but one of those rare moments where it feels like there's been a pretty seismic change in the game. But it probably just about, I think, benefits everybody. I think the pro players, the top players prefer it because they get the competition they want. You've got to be on it from round 1. You need to play races 7, longer races, all the rest of it. That is only going to improve the top level of the game. But I also think, as a counterweight, the challengers will prefer it as well. No big sharks that they run into and get battered by in the early rounds, and it enables them to build through a tournament and experience the latter stages while feeling confident that there's actually a serious chance they can go and win something.
Yeah, completely agree. I think it's fantastic for the big names, for the big players. It's straight in. You've got to go from ball 1, but you've also got the longer races now that it's a professional tournament. You're playing races to 7. It aligns with the ultimate pool professionals. It's right that it should be. But yeah, the challengers now have a tournament of their own, which I think is really important. And they've got something to aspire to. There's going to be relegation, there's going to be promotion, and I think it's going to be fascinating to see how the battle at the top of the rankings, which obviously Amy's dominating at the moment, of course Harriet very hot on the heels, goes for the rest of the year, because I think we've got a few more players that want to get in that mix, Emma being one of them. How that goes and compared to how it goes at the bottom when they're fighting for their sort of place in the pro ranks. Essentially, you'll find your level.
Yeah, completely.
And this, the thing that I think we probably kind of haven't really talked about today, but what an amazing, and I mean, I'm a commentator. I've been in the game an awful long time, but the evolution of the women's game is Emma just gets herself in a little bit of trouble here. She's going to have to come up with a double. If the double goes, it might not. This could be a repeat of frame 1. I'll come back to my point in a second. The 8 ball doesn't go either. See if she can come up with a moment of magic. Trying to find somewhere. It's not much on here for Emma. Wow, what an amazing pot. Didn't really do too much with the cue ball, but a brilliant pot in the middle all the same.
think she's almost resigned to the fact that, well, not really much else you can do here other than make the pot, give yourself sight of the 8 ball. What can she produce? A lot of lines are blocked off by the yellows. Can she get this travelling anywhere near a pocket? Well, she could. Not to be, though. And the worst result is she's landed Aid right behind her most difficult ball.
Yeah, Emma's always going to die by the sword. She's always going to chase finishes. Sometimes it can cost her. Sometimes it really works and she can fly through matches. I'll come back to my point, though, while Aid goes about her work here, and that was that I've seen the evolution in women's pool from the token final being shown on the TV table at the back end of an event when it runs alongside professional and men's events, if it was in the international stage, to us now showing every single match from the last 16 of a tournament onwards. It's fantastic. We saw quarterfinals on yesterday all the way down to a conclusion, and now we're watching every single match from the last 16. So much exposure for the women's game.
Yeah, and you cannot impress enough how important that exposure is to growing that game. I mean, to that point, got a young lady here in the Challenger Series this weekend. 10 years old.
Amazing. Yeah, met her earlier on this weekend. Absolutely brilliant. And she's a good little player as well. Like
really is, yeah. From your neck of the woods. She actually plays for the Wiltshire County team for the ladies, and is handy, seriously handy. And at 10 years old, she can barely see over the height of the table. But incredible story. And I mean, there's been some incredible stories on the Challenger Series like that. I want to shout out Pocket Rocket and Charlie Earnshaw, who got himself a qualification, I think, to the British Open this weekend, and it's gone really well in the Challenger Series again.
There's a couple of 15-year-olds, I was talking to someone earlier, that I don't know if they're still going, but they were going deep, I think, last 16 of the Challenger Series at last look. So, yeah, it's amazing to see. I have to say, while we're talking about that, Aid's gone through this really well. It wasn't that easy a counter clearance. I actually thought she might just pull back, pop a ball off the cushion and try and hide, but maybe she's a little bit worried about Emma's prowess at getting out of the snookers and giving the 8 ball a ride. And she's gone through this fabulously. All the hard work gets her to the 8 ball. Just has to mind herself here and make sure. Right in the heart of the pocket. That was excellent from Aid, especially considering she knows she should have won the opening frame.
Yep.
Brilliant counter in frame 2. She has to let Emma know that she's here and she's here to play, and if Emma wants to chase these finishes, she's going to have to get them or she's going to lose the frames, and perhaps Marion and Barbara as well. But she won the mini series and looked so dangerous in doing so. She's been a world champion a couple of times, and yeah, she's absolutely right there in the sort of very much established in the top 8, pushing that top 4. So a big quarterfinal coming up for champs. A big visit to the table coming up for the 4 times world champion here, Emma Cunningham.
Yellow balls in play.
Eight ball tricky, doesn't go anywhere, top right, bottom left. Does the yellow that she's just tried to open up, does that have a pocket? That's the questions in this one. The others fine. The others are no issues at all. Still trying to work it out. I don't think this yellow has a pocket. If it goes right centre, then it's absolutely fine. Yeah, that flick's fine. A little bit thin on the one bottom right now. The line was a bit tight to get on that ball. Well, she's convinced herself this goes. She'd love to have got straight in on it, assuming the 8-ball goes top right, and I'm sure it does, because she could have just played for the 8-ball. Now she has to go in to the 8-ball and reds, and it's so well guarded that the positional side of this shot is far from guaranteed. And the way she keeps looking at it, I would suggest this is also quite tight.
Easily done.
Yeah,
You're going to do so many things with one shot. Any overemphasis on one part of it, and you won't get the other.
I think that was as tight as it can be to go. She really was hoping to make that off the bottom jaw, but it looked so tight.
Yeah.
Well, we're into the final 10 minutes here. It's 15 seconds a shot, and Aidflip Crofthurst has an opportunity to go 4-1 in front of one of the big favourites for the tournament. This is huge here right now.
This isn't a plan, is it? Oh, that looked like a time foul. That looked to me like a time foul. That was tight.
That was big. Yeah, this will be reviewed, but I was with you in real time. This looked like a time foul. I mean, it's going to be Emma anyway with a chance, but and it's 3-2, and it was such a good opportunity to be 4-1. It's monumental, that mistake there.
It's always the transition, isn't it? It's never the 15 seconds, it's always the transition. 2 minutes 31 is plenty of time.
It's a smooth break clearance, isn't it? It's not a quick one, not a 15 seconds a shot. And she's going to get a chance. How good a chance is it? One good red. Could go yellows, one good yellow. I was thinking the red into left centre wins the frame, but could make a case for the yellow.
Further south, yellow is a problem.
It is. I like the reds. Emma likes the reds. Oh, she's digging here. I thought she might float it in and go at the top of the table just to make the pot easier. Aid's going to get the chance, though. It's harder chance than it is for Emma because that red at the top's gone a little bit more awkward, but she has the chance. 2 minutes.
Could you now make the case for yellows? Because if you hit a gap, you've got the one thin.
I still don't like the two yellows, but right centre now, they've gone a bit awkward. I think I still like reds. The red at the top's easier to solve than the yellows by the 8-ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So reds it is for Adrienne Flick-Crofthurst. 1 minute 39 and ticking.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, 1 minute 30 left. She just wants to kind of just keep an eye on that match clock. This can get away. This can get away from her.
Especially now.
Yeah, she just needs to get going here. This is the angle she needs. Just top into it. Don't get the double kiss, and you're going to be perfect.
1 minute 10.
Oh, just too thin. Just too thin. Don't know if she potted that a touch on the straight side of the pocket. It looked perfect for the angle.
Could you screw back into it?
She's
Good
got the one in the
effort.
middle. She's got the one in the middle. What's the angle like? If it's dead straight, it's okay. If it's hard to tell. It looks like if she screws it straight back, she's going into the red.
Might not be the end of the world. 34 seconds.
Okay. It's going to be
Well, she can't lose the match
She
now.
can't lose the match other than potting the 8 ball in this shot, so it's give it a ride somehow.
20 seconds. Can Aid Flitcrofthurst be her own hero?
Treble. No.
Not to be. 6 red shootout we go. Even Emma Cunningham can't clear these in 10 seconds. Six red shootout time. The bell tolls, and it's full time. 6 red shootouts will decide it. Here we go. Put a little bit into that break, I don't mind it. Stop shots required, that's the key. And I think she can pretty much do that.
Oh, just got the line wrong there, but it's okay. It's going to be sub 30. Should be sub 30.
Not bad, it is not bad.
Yeah, that's solid. I know, we're comparing it to, if you compare it to what we've seen, at the top of the game where all the guys are, been going at 20, 21, 22, 23. They've done it an awful lot more times than we have on the women's series. The women's series 30 is the mark, and that's 33. That's right in the wheelhouse where Emma should have some good hope here.
Yeah.
But also equally, for age, she should be really happy because it's a time that she knows that she can beat.
Here we go.
It's a nice break to beat 33. It's fine. Just make the pots here. Could have topped up for the one by a hand now. That would have helped because she's going to have to get up there. Oh, that might
This
cost her.
isn't the end of the world.
That one is.
That one
is.
might be. Had to take the high one. And that will do it. Emma Cunningham is going to get out of dodge. Adrian Flitcrofthurst will be absolutely gutted with that, I know. Big hug from the Wookiee, who has been on the other side of that enough times in her career to know how sore that will feel for Adrian Flitcrofthurst. But it is a little bit of highway robbery for Emma Cunningham, who is not at all anywhere near her best in that match, but she's got over the line and she's got the victory.
Number one player Amy's about to break off, taking on Kirsty Davies. But just before we let you go, because obviously you're going to have to prepare for your quarter-final, where is the game at the moment? Is there any sense of frustration? Because you've got people like me keep asking you about the fact that you've not won on the women's series yet. You have won on the mini-series, but would it be a monkey off the back? Is it something that's even on your radar?
I'm taking one match at a time.
Yeah.
I think because of such a tough few years, personal levels and whatnot, I'm glad I can feel that hunger, that fire inside again, and I'm actually feel like I'm starting to get back to where I was.
Yeah.
And that's a positive. Just playing a match is a positive,
Yeah, obviously talking to you, around the venues and stuff, you kind of got that sense. For me, there was a tournament here last year. You didn't make it through the group stages. I feel like though since then, do you feel like the game is you're starting to get that hunger back? Because the results have started to come. It's looked like your game started to return. You're starting to be more positive out there. We saw you have so much fun when you were at the mini series as well. You relaxed and played some brilliant stuff, and it looks like it's just natural course of it at the moment. You've got your likes of Amy, Harriet and Marion and others that are kind of right up there, and it's great to see you all battling it out. And I guess that if you keep doing what you're doing, your turn will come again.
Yeah, I believe in me.
Yeah.
I just think when I find form, I'm going to be very difficult to beat.
Yeah.
And that's all I ask. You know, I don't want to beat me. You have to beat me.
Yeah.
You know?
And it may be today. We'll go see. We're going to let you shoot on because you've got a quarter final to go and prepare for, which will be very, very quickly. But thank you very much for your time. Best of luck in that quarter final. And we're going to carry on, turn our attention to the first quarter final. This is a big matchup, this one. Amy Beecham, the number 1 player, she reconfirmed the fact that she's the number 1 player, beating the number 2 Harriet Haynes last night in the first ever Women's Pro Series final. But she's taking on 2-time world champion Kirsty Davies, who, for me, is right there. Absolutely established as a top 8 player in my mind. She's pushing the top 4. I think she's certainly a player that has the level to beat anybody in the world on any given day. She has such a high level, maybe just a touch of consistency here and there, but when she plays, and when she played at the mini series last year, it was all but flawless. And well, it's going to be a fabulous start here for her. Opening frame on the board very quickly for Kirsty Davies, as we've had a quick change here in the studio in the commentary area.
There's a much smaller contingent of players capable of beating the top seeds over a race to 7 than there were in that previous format.
Oh dear. Very slow start for the number 1 here. In off. Opportunity for Kirsty.
It does go one of 2 ways when you win the first event as well. And sometimes you're more relaxed thinking you've already done what you needed to for the weekend and it's a free roll in the second one. Sometimes it's hard to get started again after the excitement of the big final last night. Not that Amy's done a whole lot wrong, it's just hasn't quite panned out so far in this match.
Well, straight after the way that she celebrated the big final last night was to go straight back on and play last 32 in this tournament. And she did manage to win, but it was well past midnight, I think, by the time she finished.
Seems you must have had an option on that, because I think Harriet's match was held over, wasn't it? Until this morning.
It was originally scheduled. I think the way it was scheduled was for the 2 finalists would hold over their 32 and play it at 10 a.m. this morning. But her opponent, Sharon James, asked Amy if she'd play it after the final, and Amy said sure, no problem. I think Amy wanted the Lions, so it kind of worked in her favour, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of pool players would probably take the midnight match over the first thing in the morning one. It's a brave move from the opponent, because you've just watched her win that final. It's not like she wasn't in good form at that point.
Good plant, but the yellow's gone awkward.
Really just wants a chance to get going in this match. This isn't quite as an easier one. The fact that yellow's gone safe it's in kind of an awkward spot now, because there aren't loads of other balls near there that afford good position. It may still pot to the left centre, but it's not like she's got any real prospects of getting there anytime soon. She's generally quite a good percentage player. You tend to feel if she's going for a clearance, she does have a path. She's not somebody just to chase after something. So got a very clever pool mind. When you hear her in commentary, you realise her level of understanding of what is the right shot. Oh, that is a pretty good shot. It's not quite gone right, but she picked out a good angle to make that cannon. She always knew that the white, by definition, was going to be down this end of the table, so just hoping to be either on the ball to the bottom left or on the yellow that she cannoned. She could just get through to it. Still chasing this a bit. Slipped in behind that red, so again just a single ball to play for. Only one good shot away from having this frame open though. She's really got to try to screw this ball back. If she can get to the middle of the white, this is okay. She's slightly obstructed by that red, but I think she can really see the bulk of the bit of the white she wants to hit. Oh, just keep that well. Well, this has been a good clearance. 2-0 down. She knew she had to make something happen. these were not straightforward, and she's never really had multiple options. She's always had to get the shot she was playing right because there's never been any kind of backup plan. But so far she's delivering. One more shot to come. Hand on table, this is an easy pot, but hand on cushion, not quite so much so.
This has been brilliant. This absolutely has been fabulous, hasn't it? It shows us everything about Amy. I mean, it's not really that the pressure's really building, but she won't want to fall 3-0 down and feel like she's chasing. So really important to get that one on the board, and very, very efficient in the way she went about that one. Break's not really been kind to her in this match.
Yeah, people have a very emotional reaction to the 6-red depending on whether they've done well or badly. On the face of it, Amy's got a game that would actually be pretty well suited. She's a good potter. She plays at a lively pace. She doesn't love running around the table, but you would still expect her to be decent. But I think you have a couple of bad ones, and then it sort of gets in your head that you just don't really like the format.
Yeah, you've almost got to kind of forget and just almost get to grips with the fact that you're going to be in a ton of them.
Well, I mean, we said this before, it's a key part of the game. It's like you wouldn't not practice your break knowing that you're going to break in a match. If the tournament format has a 6-red shootout, you're going to have to play some at some point. This looks like it could be another slightly cagey match, or frame I should say. Amy going for the yellows, but still a bit of traffic around the table, particularly the one just to the right of the cue ball now. In a way, it's going to be the next frame that's the really significant one. One player's obviously going to hold a 4-3 lead once this one's finished. Assuming that it doesn't turn into a long tactical battle, there's going to be a little bit of time left. It's just a question of whether it's long enough for a frame.
That might have been a little touch for Amy. Not sure. Kirsty's got an open ball on here, and that red was hanging over a pocket. It was a difficult plant. Can she play the plant off the red and pop it all open? Oh, what a shot. So that loss of turn is kind of irrelevant now. Good shot from Kirsty. Red by the 2 yellows. Oh, it goes top right, doesn't it? Look at the room there. That's not the best of positional shots, though. I think she was coming back to try and move that red rather than play on it, but overdone the screw back. Time on the clock is not her friend here either. If she doesn't make this out, Amy's going to have the counter clearance opportunity. Has to get these.
Certainly a very real prospect. This match could finish at 4-3.
Oh, the in-off's going to kill her. Amy Beecham's going to have the opportunity. She can be very precise, and I think the right-hand yellow goes top left with precise cue ball, which she'll have, and then the rest are open.
Made a mess of that shot. Even if she pots it, the cue ball's never where she needed to be. She got it way too thin.
Yeah, there's that bright, precise cue ball. Put it wherever she wants. Now they're all there. I think she would have liked to have been a touch further up the table, but still fine.
It's starting to feel like the deciding frame in this match.
Yeah, this time comes a touch too far. If she's hitting the red full ball, it's fine, because she'll be on the yellow to bottom left. If she's sliding off the red, she may have a problem connecting to the next ball. Yeah, that was okay, and now it's floating down. Depending on the angle, she might just nip this into the red, actually, just to guarantee holding the cue ball. Depends how big the window is if she rolls it in. Oh, Amy.
How costly could that be? She was in perfect position on the last yellow.
You know, Kirsty makes the combination, but played it in such a way that maybe she was playing the loss of turn, hasn't connected it to the next ball, which she's got the black being quite a big blocker here. Complete control of this frame, and there's enough time. Good effort for Amy, but not to be. Still a minute and a half, just under. This is fine for Kirsty. 8 ball's tricky, but she should be able to get behind it. It's a stop shot and the perfect angle.
Well, it's been a match that could have gone either way, and it's been a frame that could have gone either way.
Well, this 8 ball still needs to be made, and the yellow's hanging over the pocket, and the time left on it, there will be time for Amy, so this has to be made. This is essentially to book a place in the semi-finals or to lose. And it goes in. Brilliant shot from Kirsty Lee Davies.
Good to see Kerry back and playing well. She's been in excellent form this weekend, and here she is in the quarter-final of the Women's Pro Series 2. And tough matchup in prospect. Megan Proctor over on the other side of the arena. Both of these two had very good wins in their last 16. Megan got through 6-1 against Lindsay Roberts. For Kerry, super result, 6-3 over Sarah Trudgett, but the result that really jumped off the page for Kerry Griffiths was her 7-3 win over Barbara Taylor in the last 32, which was yesterday. Super player is Kerry, and 16 of the Women's Pro Series is seeded, and I think it's safe to say that Kerry being unseeded probably feels like a little bit of a false position. She's one of the unseeded players you absolutely do not want to play in round 1, for example.
Yeah, it's a deep field, isn't it? That's the thing. I mean, you can look at Kerry and think, yeah, she probably should be higher than that. She probably thinks that herself, but she's where, you know, she's there for a reason. She's, you know, there's players like Megan that are kind of, you know, come along and they're pushing up the game as well. This is a really tough match to call. It really is. I've always been impressed with Megan and her game, and I think she's one of the players that's really progressing, and she's just that tier below the top echelon right now, trying to make that breakthrough. You know, she's been through to a women's series final, and she's trying to make that next step, get back in there, and maybe try and get her hands on a trophy and start to push. But she's right there.
Reds with a choice for Megan. I just wonder if she's a little bit short of where she wanted to be. I can only imagine she's played on the red below the 8 ball to bottom right. If that's the case, she's heading into a little bit of traffic. Well, not at all. So she's going to pull up. I assume that red goes. Otherwise, it's a bit of a curious shot from Megan. Not too sure what the plan was.
Good pot from Kerry, but she's got some real problems here.
Yeah, the two on the baulk line are really difficult. They're the biggest issues for sure. Rest aren't too bad actually on yellows. The one that almost looks tied up at the bottom of the table has got a couple of quite good connections. I'm not a huge fan of that shot. Let's see what she's trying to do. I don't think she's got it perfectly, but also that was really hard to get safe, and it's just essentially saying to Megan, well, over to you, and if you get them, fair play. Yeah, but that's a risk.
Opening up your 2-power balls and leaving is fine if she gets the cue ball safer than this, but she left Megan a chance. And it's a good one. Depends on the angle she's got. If she's just floating this in, the cue ball might be tracking towards the left centre, but I think she can play it at such a pace where she just wants it to not reach, and anywhere near the... Oh, she's a bit worried that maybe it's going to reach, so she's going to jack up and make this a little bit harder. Yeah, and that's no good. I do think the red to the right of the cue ball now passes the yellow to bottom right, and that in turn, if the red she's next to didn't pass to bottom right, which I think it does, then it would have opened that one up. So it was all about getting that first positional shot right. And unfortunately, So couldn't work it out. So the chance goes, and Kerry's kind of rewarded for her popping them open and kind of saying, over to you.
Hello. Yeah, okay. Oh, Megan. That will really, really hurt. I don't even think it's going to cost her the frame in a strange way, because, I mean, look what Kerry's been left. But Megan will really want to settle and feel comfortable out there. Kerry's just going to take it for a ride. Well, she could have had worse outcomes. She could have had worse outcomes. It's one of those where you never truly settled until you get your first one won and start to feel a bit comfortable and confident on the table. Frames like these don't help either player. They help on the scoreboard. Whoever wins it gets a 1 next to their name. That's all well and good. But you don't ever end it feeling good. Which can be, in the long term, of course, a little bit more important. Kerry's looking at the double. Terrific shot. executed that brilliantly. Issue was always going to be landing on the 8 ball. Megan had a bit of a touch with how that last missed pot ended up. The red just made that a little bit awkward. Double was a great shot. Can she nail the up and down? She'll go close. It's not a bad effort, you know. Ooh.
Just needed hitting. What's worse, it's left Megan straight in on this one to left centre, or straight enough in anyway. Should be Megan's frame now.
Said that a couple of times.
Yeah, that's very true.
Last couple of moments. It's just started to get a little bit edgy. That's a bit more like it from Megan. So it will be 1-1. 1-0 rather, to Megan Proctor. First frame on the boards.
Attention, please.
This frame has been another testy one for Megan and Kerry, and Megan is, rather than trying to almost pot herself into too much trouble, is just trying to position herself into a winning position.
Yeah, we've seen some very quick matches, lots of really good frames in the 2 tournaments so far, but this match and the one before, we've just had some tough frames, and they're just eating away at the match clock. We do now know our full quarter-final lineup as well, whilst all this has been going on. Harriet Haynes has come through a tough matchup with Mary Talbot. 7-5 victory for Harriet. And she'll take on Lucy Smith. 6-4 win over Ashley Dinsmore. And they'll be getting underway fairly shortly over on table 3. Carrie's starting to get into a lot of trouble in this frame, but still far from certain. For the yellow at the top of the table for Megan is so far away. Difficult to work it out.
Megan would love cue ball in hand. Got a chance to try and force that here. Gonna use the rest for a little bit of help. Wants to travel.
Yeah, and it sort of ties up the 2 yellows together as well. Obviously, that's not that was the secondary part of that shot. But
all you need to do is just hit that shot a little bit harder. The yellows go apart and the cue ball travels up behind them. This is half a chance for Kerry here. It's a tough first shot. Not quite. Needed to pot it on the thicker side as well.
If you're Megan, how brave are you? Double. Perfect on the double. Not sure if she can get the cue ball out across to be on the one over the pocket or not, but is it worth the risk? I mean, with the red being on the cushion as well, no guarantees even if she leaves sight of the pot to top left that Kerry would be able to get on the one on the cushion, but she is going to go for it.
I like this choice.
Treble. No.
The right choice for me though. Yes, she's missed a shot, but it was the right choice.
Trying to win the frame.
Yep. Oh, Kerry's a long way short here. Unless she was playing to be short position. I think so. Big shot. Yeah, good pot. Helped there that she didn't have to worry about the cue ball whatsoever. It was just all her energy focused on the pot.
Daniel Randall and Emma Cunningham, Lucy Smith and Harriet Haynes. They're battling out. The winners of those matches will play each other in the semi-finals, which we'll see here on the main table. But
I just wonder there, Simon, has Megan taken a little bit off her break there to maybe deliberately sort of not give too much away?
It looked like it, didn't it? It looked like it was just a slightly more reserved break, and actually, in a strange way, the layout's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually come out quite nicely.
Although, actually, I say it's not bad. The red by a hand doesn't... Yeah, the 3 in the bottom half aren't as good as I first thought. 8 ball kind of in the way of the 2, sort of by the triangle area, and obviously the red the other side. So this is still tricky, but it's more solvable than some of the layouts we've seen.
Just wonder, the red directly above the 8 ball, can you play that into left centre and try and get things moving? That's a nice shot. Would have loved to have been a little bit straighter though, because I think her next shot's going to be hard. Don't think she can hold on anything.
Oh, she's on the one bottom left.
Oh, there's a gap.
But where's the next ball coming here?
She needs to try and hold it as much as possible. She needs to be thicker there. Not sure she could get through to it, in all honesty. In fact, she's missed that.
Loss of turns the shot here. Just loss of turn and slide the white towards the yellow on the bottom cushion.
Extension, please.
Just don't overdo it and leave the one right centre on. Perfect. Excellent shot.
Yeah, well played. Also means the one cushion is really hard because Kerry's Chinesed over that yellow. Although she can, there's a little gap just to kick this red. I wonder.
It was still the right choice of shot because look what Kerry's got now.
Oh, Kerry's about to be in another horrible snooker in a moment, you'd imagine. They all be determined to make this the last frame in the match. That's nice. Not overplayed that. That yellow now goes. The other one on the left side goes independently as well. That's nice. And that actually is probably the worst result for Kerry, because she's just going to be in for more pain in a moment. Megan can just pot open balls at this point.
She shouldn't do anything else for me. This is just
4 yellows. Use your clock. You can't lose.
Run them down.
Waiting for the beeps on every shot. She's doing absolutely the right thing here.
Pot the 2 open pools and then play the safety, and then it's one hit and hope for Kerry Griffiths. And that's all she'll have. I mean, she could play the breakout here if she wanted to, but well, maybe she should have done. But she can play safe now. Get the snooker.
Just wants to leave it as late as possible to play it. Well, could have waited a little bit longer, but in truth, 25 seconds to pot these 2 for Kerry. You can see it by her face as she came to the table. It's not a proposition she's particularly enamoured by. And hits the 8 ball to foul, and that will be that. Megan Proctor is going to be through to the Ultimate Pool Women's Pro Series semi-final. Great result for Megan. It's job done. Shake of hands between the two. And Megan is through into the next stage, where she will take on Kirsty Lee Davis for a spot in the Women's Pro Series 2 final. All love. Welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Series. Megan Proctor and Kirsty Lee Davis are ready to rumble. Semi-final time. And delighted to welcome into the commentary box alongside me, Adrian Flitcroft-Hurst.
Hi.
Hello, mate.
Hello again.
Hello again. Lovely
Thanks
to
for
have you with
having
us. Oh, always a pleasure. And before we get too deep into this one, always a chance to give you your moment in the sun. Well played earlier. No, it was I think that everyone has to have their first sort of experience of being 15-second shot clocked. That was
Yeah.
it just felt like one of those occasions that I think you've probably got 70 players on the Pro Series who've all had one of those happen to them.
Yeah.
Where it just sort of, it ran away and it snowballed. It looked tough out there.
I did feel like I didn't settle on it today. It's that third or fourth experience on it, really. But today I did feel a little bit rushed. I think that was maybe because the scoreline was so close, and I was aware of, especially when I missed that 8 ball, I was aware that could have been the match for me, you see. So, but I've got to learn from that and come back stronger now. I definitely will be taking the positives, though.
You have to. You absolutely have to. And, you've been there and done it now.
Yeah,
You've got nothing to fear in that sense, because if it happens again, you can sort of recognise it and maybe make adjustments.
Absolutely. At no point have I feared it, though. That's the thing. I've always wanted to be in that limelight.
Yes.
And I will just build on the experiences that I've had now. You only learn from it, from having the opportunity to experience it, don't you see? So.
Yeah, completely agree. And it's one of the reasons why I think the Pro Series will bring on so many players.
Definitely.
I think everyone, regardless of their level, whether they're sort of towards the 1 or towards the 32 on the Pro Series, everyone's going to improve their level over the course of the season, I think.
Especially with it being the do or die for the Pro Series. I think the Challenger Series for the women, their level will improve because they'll get a bit more confidence in not getting, a lot of the players won't be getting hammered like they have been.
Yeah.
And in the Pro Series, it's do or die, and no draw's an easy draw.
Yeah,
so
and we've seen that this weekend. I mean,
definitely.
For example, Marion Jude's played 2 matches.
Yeah.
Lost a decider in each against 2 world champions.
Of course.
And she's on her way back home.
Of course, and when you see things like that happening, that brings even more positives to me as someone who's unseeded. I've knocked 2 seeds out.
Yeah.
Won a former world champion. So, although I'm disappointed, and I feel that I know I haven't shown my best yet. When I fly, I've got more in the tank. There's more to come with Ultimate for me, so I'll keep putting the work in.
Love to hear it.
Smart work as well as hard work.
Yeah.
And build on it and continue to be a threat, hopefully.
Absolutely. I mean, that's got to be the goal. I'll tell you what, there's some work, both hard and smart, for Megan to do here, and in the end, I think it's a good old-fashioned hit and Chris. Kirsty Davies then will come to the table with a pretty presentable opportunity with these yellows.
What I saw of a match against Amy, she was taking finishes like these. Seemed like a high standard, and she'll be pleased to take the number 1 out, so she'll have confidence from that.
Yeah, I think so. I think Kirsty's a great player, like really, really top level, I think, on this series. It's no surprise in that sense to see her beat Amy. I think both players were frustrated with how their match almost went. It was dictated by the balls. It had to be scrappy. It had to be tactical. It wasn't a nice game to play, I don't think.
No.
But
although they both were able to show flashes of what they can do.
Yeah. And sometimes the games just are decided by the balls. We'd all love to watch, clearance after clearance and players almost playing exhibition style, but sometimes you just can't.
No. I find sometimes...
Some 8-ball Kirsty Lee's got to take on here, mind.
Oh, yeah.
Pot.
Nailed it. And I believe Kirsty's been putting some work in. I think some of last season she wasn't necessarily a big practicer.
So Kirsty Lee's had 2 breaks in a row, looking to punish, and that cut break has been pretty devastating for her all tournament, really.
She's hitting that lovely. Danielle was just doing the same in her match against Emma. I'm not a fan of the cut break, but if the balls are splitting like that, then I can see why they do it. That was something I thought about my match. I couldn't get my break going, really. I wasn't making good connections, so that'll be something I'll be practicing. Oh, and that almost was a Cadbury's parrot then.
Almost.
And it looks as though, when we're looking at the 8 ball, that top left pocket, it looks as though there's enough space there for Kirsty to leave herself on that.
Yeah.
And she could find that line if she leaves a cue ball roughly where she is now, I think. So she's looking good on this.
Attention, please.
So, hope for Megan in this frame.
Yeah, it's disaster really for Kirsty.
I was surprised she took the top yellow first, to be fair. I thought she could have used that to just hold and leave herself some angle to get on it, but...
Yeah, I was surprised. Cross double.
Or the cock tats.
Definitely wasn't playing that.
So, decision for Megan, does she tuck up or and open up that ball on the rail, or does she have a go? Yeah, she's got another ball out in the open now, so barring a huge fluke, she's just gone favourite for this frame, and Kirsty looked in control with that finish.
She did. She took out a great... It looked to my eye that
Yeah.
she took out a great finish. She almost just had to just finish it off. The hard work looked done, but just run aground. I think that's what she was trying to play, was the 8 ball into the top right.
Mm.
Yeah, a bit of a tricky one here for Megan. You'd imagine she'll look to try and lay some kind of snooker, but it's quite difficult to do so.
Yeah, and I think she...
Can she screw back to the side cushion here? Is that the plan, or is she going?
It depends what
going
angle
into
she's
it?
got.
Oh, that's the worst possible outcome. Has she had a rub? Don't think so.
I think it probably goes off the red into the centre pocket.
Yeah. Kirsty will be delighted with this.
I think through trying to force that has caused the error, hasn't it? It's always easy with hindsight, isn't it? I think she could have maybe used... Oh, she's coming off the side rail.
Oh, Megan's had a touch there. Megan's had a touch.
Right.
Got away with it.
Yeah, and I feel that Megan really needs to take this now, especially with that foul break that she had where she completely miscued.
Yep.
Because if she can get it back to 2 walls, she'll feel like she stole it a little bit. Just needs to plan a route properly, so she'll be looking to leave the rail shot on the left hand side as a last ball. The 8 ball is the top side of the middle pocket, so she'll be wanting to stay that side. When I watch Megan cue, she's a fantastic cueist, but she's got quite a long bridge, a bit Mellin-esque. How she cues, have you noticed that, Stephen?
Yeah.
And she
Not quite as far as Melling.
No,
I don't think anyone is, but yeah, it's that sort of style.
But you know what I mean, don't you? She really likes to get through the ball. she just needs to back herself here now, because she's looking twice, whereas actually if she just pinches this back slightly, she's good and she's more than capable. Yeah. And then if she kills this one in now, and even if she leaves herself a bit of angle, if she's a bit low on it, it's away from the cushion, she's all good on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be absolutely flying. And this was really needed, I think, for Megan, particularly after that break. She's a bit frustrated. She wants to be high on this just to make sure. This is now a fiddly 8 ball.
I was expecting
should still get it.
I was expecting her to just drop that in fairness, but that, you know, everybody's got different shots that they feel comfortable with, but she's still more than okay here. She's fine. That's just that little bit of frustration, isn't it, with how the previous couple of frames had gone for her, I think.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, she's annoyed at herself because she could have afforded to have been 3 foot long there, but was short.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But still rolls it in, never a problem.
Will this be the frame where Kirsty goes on to punish it for mistakes further by holding a break?
That's all she wants. And Kirsty's break has been phenomenal in this match. It's been so consistent. The only thing it has been doing is it hasn't been leaving lovely splits. Every now and then, but in the main, it's come out like this, where there's work to do.
Yeah, and that's quite often the nature of the cut break.
Yeah. I mean, she's taken reds, which I get, but the 2 reds on the bottom rail are horrible.
Now, it wouldn't surprise me if Kirsty was trying to make herself an angle there to come off the side rail and back down to the bottom to develop those.
She has, and she hasn't.
And it's through not leaving enough angle that I think she hasn't made the best connection there.
Well, I think also, I think that's such a low percentage shot. She's essentially done exactly what she wanted to do, really.
Yeah.
But the odds of that coming out nicely and her being on something was so low.
I think if she could have hit the back ball a bit fuller, then she'd have had a bit more potential for that working out nice. It's, you know, it's the style of play that she's got, and that's why she probably fancied it. But as you say, high tariff.
Very high.
And now the yellows are lovely. Just the one next to the 8 ball is the hardest to negotiate, but and I think she's quit on that a little bit.
Yeah, if she wanted to bring the cue ball back, she hasn't.
Yeah.
It's stopped dead.
And it's on the rail now, so a shot to make.
Oh, great pot.
She's cued that lovely.
Yeah, that's more like it.
She's a lovely cueist, Megan is. And actually, from that end, looking at the yellow next to the 8 ball that I mentioned, I think it goes bottom.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Right. So.
It'll be next ball, I think.
Yeah.
These just work themselves down from top to bottom.
She needs to be the right side of it, though, so that she can just top through slightly for last yellow.
Yeah, she's perfect.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be risking going anywhere near the 8 ball, and she won't be. Oh, it's about to get really testy now. Oh, or is it? Or is it? Goodness me. That was a twitchy one from Megan Proctor. That was a twitchy one.
It's a big match, isn't it? You know, and
oh, it's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Completely understandable. But she's had a little bit of a run. Will just be the loss of turn for Kirsty. She has to get this cue ball safe. She has to also pot the yellow. Not potting the yellow is the worst possible result.
Now Megan's got to force this around because she can't get any backspin. Oh, she's coming on too much now. And so it continues. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
She may have a go at bouncing it off the bottom rail hard.
Yeah, needs to play out with a lot more pace, I think, if that was ever going to go. Not sure that shot was even on.
But
she's not left much.
No, she's not too bad there. But
do you know what? The more I look at that shot, the more she might have just played that.
Yeah.
As just a safety, because there was nothing on there for Kirsty. The double's blocked, snookered on the other. Well, can't put the red on the bottom, snookered on the one at the top. I think it was actually quite a clever shot from Megan.
I feel like the up and downs on here.
What a return. What a return. It's not a bad result, that. I think Kirsty can sneak this along the bottom rail, but there's still work to do on reds.
I don't know if she will. I think she will tuck her up here. Oh, force the yellow onto the cushion.
That's a risk. That's a risk. This is... Well, you make the double, you win the frame. You don't make it, you're probably going to lose it, but I think Megan will fancy this. Didn't get there. And she had another result. Yeah, you better believe it. Oh, what a nudge that is for Megan Proctor.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's a result now, but it won't be in a moment because she's going to be in a world of pain. Unless good. Oh, I thought she was.
Yeah, Kirsty does not want to pot that.
No.
I tell you what, that's a hell of a shot.
Wow.
What a brilliant shot that is from Megan. Same again, please, because Kirsty's going to do exactly the same. But you know what? Megan can actually return fire here.
Yeah, she
can snooker Kirsty back.
Oh.
Well, I'm surprised she's played it like that.
Oh, and cue ball's down as well.
I'm really surprised she's played it like that. Because on that same line, she could have tucked up Kirsty behind the yellow and snookered her straight back.
The same shot as she played before.
Off the side rail, yeah.
Yeah.
That looked to be the shot there. I just think Megan's lost a little bit of patience. And again, everything's on a 15-second shot clock. It's play what you see, and you're stressed out there. Your heartbeat's going 10 to the dozen. But I think Megan might have just missed a trick. And Kirsty short.
I think that's a shame.
Bit of a smelly 8-ball, honestly, from where she was. But just has to cue this in.
Oh, sent to the pocket.
In it flies. 6-4. Kirsty Lee one away.
We are about to get underway with the second semi-final. Kirsty, thank you for coming in and joining us. Go and enjoy your chilling out. You don't have to worry. We'll find out who you'll play in that final, and we'll see you in a few hours.
Thank you very much.
And we are fully underway then. Our second semi-final. Race to 7, 50 minutes for a place in the final against Kirsty Lee Davies. It's Harriet Haynes who lost in Event 1 final up against Emma Cunningham. It's the number 2 seed. Emma Cunningham, of course, the 4 times world champion. A big matchup here. And Simon Webb and Mark Shepherd with you for this one. I think this is going to be a big encounter, Mark. I think the way that Harriet's been going throughout the weekend, she's really been kind of on the front foot, taking out finishes. And we saw Emma sort of come through a little bit earlier on in a slightly different style than we're used to from her.
Yeah, we were talking last week about whether this was time for her to come back into it. Emma's been at the top of the game for a long time, but perhaps not quite hitting the heights last season. Seeded 6th, so it's not like she slipped way off the mark, but been watching Amy Beecham and Harriet share up most of the trophies between them. Get the feeling she's maybe coming back into top form. And yeah, maybe just playing her way into it. I mean, normally she's known for a very attacking pool. Maybe she just reined it in slightly. As has Harriet, really. I think you were saying earlier, the fact she's played on the Pro Series kind of toughened her game up a bit.
I think she's got a much more all-round game. I've really seen a massive improvement, really. I mean, she's always been a player that capable of taking out big finishes, but I think almost in year one of Ultimate Pool, it felt that Harriet was trying to bully her opponents and was just going to go at all costs. Oh, there's a poor miss here in the opening frame for her. But I think with her stepping into the pro ranks, I think she's realised she can't do that. You know, if you don't get them in the pro ranks, you are going to lose every match you play. If you keep going and don't get, you know, you're not getting them, you have to have a B game. And I think she's really added that. She's got a much more all-round game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the advantage of playing top quality opposition all the time. And also now we've got the Women's Pro Series. The 32 players in this event are all good match players. Last year the format was such that there was a group stage where you were potentially going to have a few weaker players in the mix. It was a great format because it let everybody have a go and get a few matches. But it meant that for the likes of Emma and Harriet, that group stage was almost just a formality to get through, and then their tournament started. Now they're playing each other a bit more often in the earlier rounds. Should toughen everyone's game up. Great chance this for Emma. Harriet had kind of done all the hard work in that frame. She'd had a good touch with the cannon. She smashed into the balls and everything turned out nice. Just couldn't quite take advantage. Perfect position now. Just drop the key ball over to the left-hand cushion for the ball up the rail. Then last rod to the centre. Knows she needs to get off to a good start. In the last season or two, Harriet's been starting to have the upper hand. Emma's not won as much as she had in the previous seasons, but I don't think it's going to take much. I sort of feel if she starts winning one or two events, suddenly she could get back to that form of a few years ago when she was winning everything in sight. Not able to get quite behind the 8 ball, but it shouldn't be a problem. Take it from mid-distance.
Very smooth counter clearance for Emma. Just nice start to the match.
Two of the players that people were tipping to do well, but I mean, what a run. 190 players, and such good players as well.
Yeah,
160 players, isn't it?
160 in Tier 2, 190 in Tier 1, and 160 in Tier 2 is my understanding. I haven't counted them.
There were a lot. We can verify there were a lot.
Yeah. We're somewhere in the mid-500s in terms of total players throughout the weekend. That's why it's been a very busy weekend. Trying to keep up to date with everything that's going on has been tough. Obviously, we've been focusing very much on the professionals and the women's professionals.
Could we I was going to say, could we finally see a first visit clearance? I mustn't jinx that. Harriet's managed to find the pocket with the cue ball. So, usual pattern for the match. One player gets in first, makes a mess of it somehow. Again, slightly unexpected mess as well. Good chance for the counter clearance for Emma Cunningham. More often than not, she seems to be the one that's been in first, but good chance with a bit of the traffic moved. Can't really see too many problems, but the way this match has gone, you'd hardly feel comfortable chalking up the win to the player when there's still this many balls on the table. Did the right thing there, even though it was a big pocket. It was important not to move the red that was over the left middle, so potted both of those clean. Landed pretty well on the only ball that could have been difficult to get on. Normally you're in this kind of position and you're almost trying to spin up some drama just to make it sound interesting, but today you do genuinely worry something might go wrong on a clearance like this.
Yeah, imperative to leave the right last ball. There is enough room. Probably the only shot that can go wrong is not quite getting up far enough here, but it's perfect.
Be a good moment to take a 2-frame lead because the clock is winding down now. So much time has been wasted with the back and forth between the players. This is better from Emma Cunningham. This has been a much more precise finish. She's been in prime position the whole way through. Cued the balls well. She's looked purposeful. She's got to play one more shot to get onto the 8 ball. Obviously does go past the yellow. If not cleanly, she can just run it in off the side of the yellow.
Oh, went in very easily in the end. Excellent clearance from Emma Cunningham.
It's a long way back from here for Harriet. Needs a quick clearance off her own break. She can't afford to get involved in any more scrappy frames. She's failed with the basics of that. Open table handed over. Well, it has been a very bad day at the office so far for Harriet. Emma has had some bad moments, but she's also had some good moments, and she has definitely grown as the match has continued.
This sort of layout, forget the match clock. Just make the clearance, win the match.
Yeah, I mean, she just wants to get it done here. She doesn't want to get involved in anything.
Has that gone too far? Knuckle in the way, or is she okay?
She's just okay. She certainly ran it close though.
You would have wanted a few turns of angle actually on this one. Now having to pull it back, and it won't be straight enough to drop it in, I don't think, unless she wants to screw all the way back for the top right. Bit betwixt and between here. What's amazing for me is we're in the 3rd year of Ultimate Pool Women's Series pool, and she's 3 balls away from her first Women's Series final, which, and she might not get there in this visit. What I was trying to get at is I find it hard to believe that the level of player that Emma was when she came in, that she's still searching for that first final, but she's tantalising close right now.
Yeah, she's 1 frame away, or 7 minutes of keeping her opponent from winning enough frames away. So Harriet's just got to get on with this. Can't think too much about this position. She's just got to clear up. And she's got to clear up a couple more times after this as well. There is still enough time. 7 minutes is plenty to win 3 frames, but right now it's winning the 3 frames that looks like it might be the challenge.
Oh, it's another miss. It's quite incredible. Does the red squeeze in past that yellow?
Well, looks difficult, but you'd have said that about the last time she squeezed a ball past another ball.
If not, then it's the double. Oh, I think it squeezes. Oh, just got too much of the yellow. But the yellow's gone awkward at the top of the table. This is much trickier now for Harriet than it was with her first counter clearance option, and obviously the loss of the seconds that she missed and Emma at the table all hurt her. Angle for the breakout now, or the short position.
She come far enough. Just by the look of, wow, looks very tight from that angle. Maybe just get through. Just going to have one more shot to play. Run the ball down the rail, and then it's all about the position onto the 8 ball. Never looked that easy a shot from that angle. Just never really got into that.
And the red was in the way really, because you'd love to go up the right hand side of the table. Tries to cut it in, not to beat. Gets away with it a little bit, but Emma should just be happy to get back to the table and waste some more time.
Yeah, she doesn't really mind getting involved here. A bit of a tactical game's fine.
May have left the double. Or the treble, potentially.
She's going to have to hit as much as she can of the thin edge of this ball.
It's the double, and it lands.
Wow, a scrappy match continues. Emma had a good chance there to get over the line. If she'd got over the line 7-3, you'd actually have said she'd got the train back on the rails. Things were looking a bit better at that point.
But that match there with Harriet, obviously she comes in number 2 seed. She made the final last night. You know, she's been fairly relentless over the last few years. It felt like there was a lot on the line there. I didn't know how much you were aware of the fact that you'd lost your last few games to her on Ultimate Pool or not.
Yeah, no, I don't really think about it. I take every match as it comes, and I'll always take positives from it. You know, I think I'd have been pretty annoyed if I'd lost that match from 6-3 up. But no, I didn't realise.
Yeah, was it at all edgy at the end there, or you obviously missed the chance to win it a little bit earlier?
Frustrated the black didn't go in.
Yeah.
I felt like I played it pretty nice, and I'm seeing my patterns, which is also really, really nice. It just makes it so much easier. You're not coming to the table like a rabbit in headlights. And
got to have a quick word on Kersley Davies. You're playing her in the final. I'm sure you've had plenty of matches in the past, and a really good player that's also looking to get her hands on the first.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Yeah.
Natural ability is off the scales, and she took a little while out, and it's great to see her back because she's going to bring everybody else on, and she is certainly not an easy game.
No, far from it. Very good player.
So full of confidence.
Yeah. No, it's great to see, and also a little bit of synergy because you both have won with Ultimate Pool. You've both won on the mini series. You've done it a couple of times. Obviously, you've got the mixed pairs as well, but both of you are going to be going for that first women's pro series, which is
It'll be good. It'll be a good match as well, without a doubt. We're both pretty aggressive. We don't mess about in terms of that, so hopefully it'll be quite exciting.
It very much should be. Well, congratulations on making it through. We can't wait to see how it goes. We've got a couple of matches between now and you playing that final. You're just going to go and chill out and try and relax a little bit between now and then?
I might have a sneaky pint. Just one. I've been so good. I've been so good all weekend. So good. So I think I'm going to go and have one. I pat myself on the back because it's a relief to have had such a great weekend, and we've got one more to go.
One more match to go. Well, congratulations. We'll see you very soon.
Cheers.
I don't know how he'll feel if he walks away with none.
Absolutely, yeah, and obviously all the players involved are hugely experienced and top quality players. There's an interesting dynamic, I guess, if Rab was to lose the first final, he's then got to try and pick himself up for the second one. So
yeah, actually, it's a really interesting dynamic, isn't it? That win or lose, because getting high over winning as well. He's got to reset and go again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Interesting how Jake Dillon-Newlove feels about it. What he thinks is the right result for him to go against. I guess he'll probably just put it out of the back of his mind and just see whatever happens. But
I think it's one of those scenarios you'd like to say. You're always trying to concentrate on yourself anyway, and like we said, I think all the players involved are very experienced players. They know how to win tournaments and to win big matches like this. They won't be sort of daunted by this stage. So yeah, hopefully we're going to be in for a bit of a treat over the next couple of hours.
Well, it's Joe Prince with a chance in frame 3.
He just wants an angle on this yellow to come down and move the balls about a little bit. Not a great layout. Does that bottom yellow of the two, it doesn't go to the bottom left, does it? I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. No, not from the overhead. Not. You get fooled every now and then, but maybe not with this one. I'm not sure that's quite what he played. Just going off his reaction. I wonder if he was just trying to get a little nudge into those two yellows.
Yeah, he almost landed on that right-hand yellow to the middle.
Just the safety shot then, just trying to contain.
Yeah, definitely the right choice there. That clearance was definitely not going to be on. Might find himself in a bit of trouble when he comes back to the table though. In fact, Rab couldn't see the right hand side of that red, so just a containing shot. Joe using up the full shot clock on that one, just giving it some thought. He'd been playing out a few scenarios in his head just to work out what he wanted to play.
Extension, please.
He's going to be going at the table. He wants to try and hide this cue ball if he can.
Do find it interesting that these two battled it out in the finals weekend of the Amateur Championships just 2 weeks ago. They were in the same group in that weekend. Joe made it through, Rab didn't. Joe made it into the finals group, essentially the semi-finals, before coming up just short. When they played each other, it was a comfortable victory for Joe Prince. One that put Rab in huge trouble in terms of his quest to qualify.
I wonder if revenge will be on his mind.
Well, certainly be fresh memories of it. It is the only time they played with Ultimate Pool. Not sure if they've played any other time.
I think obviously that it's a very different dynamic obviously here with the Pro Series straight knockout and that, so I think I'm not sure if that match will have too much bearing.
It shouldn't really.
He still looks full of concentration. There's no obvious signs of fatigue.
Yeah, I'm still wondering where this red's going though. He's doing a lot of good work here, but he's got a lot of work to do still.
I'm not sure I like the idea of leaving it till last.
Oh, I wondered if there was some sort of... I mean, playing into it's not really an option from the top one. Oh, okay, I see. So it does pass the yellow. That's the reason. So it passes the yellow to bottom left. He just needed to open it up off that one. He's actually landed close to this red, but it's not a bad angle. And that yellow coming off has just popped the 8-ball enough to actually make the 8-ball nice.
This is okay, this is... Yeah, very good. Worked that out really well.
Excellent stuff from Rad McCulloch. We're going to finish the day with, and the tournament and the weekend with the Women's Pro Series final. Well, Joe's turn to hit him really well and not make a ball.
He's crunched that one, and yeah, another break where you just can't believe one's not gone down. bad layout here. I think he's just got to watch the cue ball going up the table. No work to do, no balls to develop.
Looks like the gap is exactly on the red. Means he can just die this in and it'd be fine.
Extension, please.
Oh, tried to check it up off the top cushion and it just doesn't take.
I wonder, could he see the full potting angle maybe? Was he playing that to try and switch it in, or?
I'm not sure. It looked like he could. I mean, he looked comfortable enough on it. But he came around and pointed his cue. I wasn't sure if he could go the other way on that and get to the other side of those
He could have
reds.
gone around the back of the reds, yeah. Ooh, did that touch? Just, I think.
Yeah, referee right on hand to make sure. Not much of a safety, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to do with that shot, because he's just left Joe on a ball and everything's on. Strange choice of shot. Not saying he had an easy choice of shot.
Not quite far enough. I'd love to have got those two on the right out the way early, but still not a problem. Would love to have that long red again if he could. He's handed Joe a chance here to get back in front. It's a nice angle on this yellow down the rail to bring the cue ball back out and across the table. Decided to almost drop it in and take the cue ball forward rather than switch it in with a bit of right and middle of the white to bring it a bit closer to the yellow.
What to make sure, didn't he? Rolling in, using all the pocket.
Yeah, I think, would you have been a bit more positive there maybe? Just come a bit further across and closer?
Yeah, I think I would. But I think it's a personal preference. Some players like to roll them and some players like to, they feel like they're going to cue better if they just get through them. It's not hitting it hard, it's just cueing through the ball. He finished okay, so no issues.
Yeah, cued that one in nice.
Big missed opportunity from Matt McCulloch, fully punished by Joe Prince. Gets himself to 3-2. Still a long way to go. We're tracking towards the halfway point. Race to 7 as well.
I think he's just got to get down, hit it like any other break, and hope you make a ball.
Oh, he's hitting jaws everywhere. He's hitting jaws everywhere.
I cannot believe that. That is unbelievable.
That's every break.
Yeah.
The only time he's made a ball off the break in a match is when he went straight in off.
I just don't think, and it's obviously the cue ball's coming back within like a 6-inch pocket at the top, and it's the balls are flying everywhere. To not make a ball is unbelievable.
It does mean that Joe Prince has this chance. to wrap this match up.
Yep, and they're all there. Just crept into the 15-second shot clock after this, so thinking time is halved. None of these going to need much with this layout though. Just all about the cue ball. I mean, it's not a major problem. The 8 ball's the only ball really where you can see a potential problem happening. Just wants to leave an angle to be able to float the cue ball through for this yellow at the bottom. Now, just leave yourself a good angle.
Two balls away. Not guaranteed still. He needs to pull out a shot. One final shot for the title.
Yeah, he's just got to get enough screw and side on to get by those reds.
Is he there? Well, Rab knows he is. Tap of the knee. And this 8 ball. And it is there. Joe Prince is a challenger champion with ultimate ball. A brilliant final, a brilliant run through, an incredible field. And he will walk away with the title.
Your Challenger Series Tier 1 champion is Joe Prince. Well, so it proves, but I can't believe Rab went so close so soon.
Yeah, and the problem he has, so when Connor Tracy did it, it was a Saturday night, Sunday night scenario. And this time round, though, it's a back-to-back. And if he wins, he's riding the high. If he had won, he would have been riding the high, and it might have been hard for him to settle down and go again. But this may be the worst scenario that he lost. But also it was a bitter loss because he knows his break just didn't turn up. I mean, he has one of the best breaks. It's an amazing, amazing break he has. And he hit it really well 6 times, and he, well, 1 in off and 5 dry. I mean, that's really tough to take. And he was, all credit to him actually, to be as close as he was to Joe, to considering how he broke.
I said to him out there, I mean, it was the first thing he said to me, he said, 6 dry breaks, it's killed me. And I said, yeah, but you were breaking brilliant. Just keep breaking like that. It has to even itself out.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. This is Jake Dylan Newlove's break. These two have actually already played this weekend. They played in the semi-finals of Event 1, so it's been an amazing run for Jake Dylan Newlove.
Both of them. These are the 2 players of the weekend, really. When Jake Dylan Newlove has gone semi-final, final, and Rab McCullough has gone final, final. The only person who's beat Jake Dylan Newlove is Rab McCullough, and it was in a 6-red shootout, so they are both absolutely flying. Incredible run for the pair of them.
Jake, a phenomenal player. He really is. Been a very good player for a while, and it would be no surprise to see him turn up and not just win, but top the rankings. He's that sort of player. No surprise to anyone to see him in this final. And no surprise to see him float through.
You know, if there's a pressure moment, they lean on him.
Yeah.
He is the one they put in. He's got the biggest bottle of the lot, and in big finals, that is what you want. Another fantastic break, and now they're starting to fly in. And now Rab McCullough is starting to heat up.
Can't allow himself to think like this, but what would he have given to have these 2 breaks in the last match? Could have been the difference. Could have been the difference. Take nothing away from Joe, really do. I mean, Joe was very deserved winner. I'm not that's unfair comment on him, but yeah, from Rab's perspective.
Red ball's in play.
Assuming the red nearest the right cushion goes past the yellows to bottom right comfortably, then probably wants to be his last ball. But if that's his last ball, then right centre wants to be his penultimate ball. But he's on it now, so how does he make it become his penultimate ball? Not that easy, actually. The two in the triangle area are just awkward.
Yeah.
I think he'd love to be on the one to bottom left straight away, but he's not. So I'll probably deal with these two on the right-hand side now. They were a very nice sort of set for the final two balls, but the 8-ball will go in the centre pocket, and he can play short position on it. So the one in the triangle area, the top of it does go bottom right, so you can see his pattern now. And he's trying to get back to somewhere near the straight. Then it's drop in, and he's got bottom right, bottom left, and then he just wants to get underneath the 8-ball. Yellow may play a little bit big when he tries to get underneath the 8-ball. It's just the only thing to watch out for.
He's perfect. I asked Joe Prince in the interview there, you know, how did the amateur champs experience help you in this sort of big arena feel? And he was like, yeah, I think it absolutely helped. And I just think a player like Rabi's made for the big occasion, isn't he? So good in those World Championships with Northern Ireland. Good again in the amateur championships in Stoke recently, despite not obviously getting over the line. Stage suits him. And when he's playing like this, he looks like he really, truly, genuinely belongs out there.
It doesn't always happen instantly, though. He made the semi-final last year, and he looked all at sea out there. He just didn't feel comfortable. He referenced it. You know, it's taken him a little bit of time, but I think the amateur championships was huge for his confidence to know that he can play in this arena and in these conditions and all the elements that come with it. Cue ball straight in as well. No Rab.
Well. Jake Dylan Newlove knows that might be that.
These reds at the top he can sort out. So the ones at the bottom are okay. Just the order. He'd be happy enough with this as a layout. Not happy with that shot though. That could be end of chance already. And he's going to have to come down the table.
He can come down the table. But it's not the end of the world, because the two at the top connect okay from top left to top right. You might just have to leave it till late, but that's not his best shot ever either. You want it to be below that red. This now is very thin. In it goes. How's your cue ball? Wants to get it back under control. That's not bad, you know.
Yeah, do you leave the one at the top for last now, or do you feel like you can get to it now? You can get there now then. I've already had too much angle.
Top right, bottom left, bottom right.
Oh,
it stays up. Rab McCullough stays down, almost willing it to drop, but it won't.
Yellow at the top is awful though here for Jake.
This could go all the way. Jake Dylan Newlove is not having any of that though. He is going to go game. This is his big shot. Middle left and fly to the top of the table.
Missed target. I mean, it's opened up now to the top right, but getting onto it there is, no, it's no joke.
Yeah, you can pot it, but you have to play an absolutely heroic positional shot.
Keep an eye on the match clock as well, 3:20.
Yeah, this is not all over.
That's not the angle he needs to get Onto the yellow at the top.
This is tough. Seriously, seriously tough. Jake takes his extension. Now's a good time to use it.
Probably might have is if he goes up for it last ball. The 8 ball doesn't go bottom left as well, even if he landed on it.
Okay, he has to save that yellow for last ball, but that yellow to the 8 ball is horrendous.
Oh, there's not much angle here. This will be special if he gets there.
Well, he's now requiring himself to pull out one of the shots of the week.
He was thinking about cushion first, and then he's going to play it straight, so he's accepting that he doesn't have any way of getting up there.
Now, Jake Dillon-Newlove is an incredible shot maker. We've seen it before on the Ultimate Pool stage. He ran a shot of the week competition by himself once on the Champions League. He needs to find a way. And he can't. Rab McCullough will get his opportunity. 2 minutes. Don't worry about the clock. The balls are all sitting ducks.
He's got the one bottom left. He's got to take it first and deal with his other red bottom right. Oh, it goes. Oh, that makes a huge difference.
They are sitting ducks. This is just about holding your nerve. What a final. You've got to give so much credit to both players. Saw that one of them had to lose. Rab McCullough has been absolutely extraordinary this weekend, and he is going to end on top of the pile. Fantastic. Rab McCullough gets it done. He avenges the final loss that he had, well, about an hour ago. Incredible weekend that he's had. And likewise for Jake Dillon-Newlove, he could not have done much more. The only person that's beaten him this weekend is Rab McCullough, and it's been in a 6-red shootout and a hill decider. It's all yours. Your Challenger Series champion is Rab McCullough. We've still got one more final for you. It's Kirsty Lee Davis with the break. And a big feature in... Oh, is that 8 ball going to drop? No, it's going to sit. An interesting split to start with, but a real feature of Kirsty's performance in the semi-final against Megan Proctor was this break. It didn't always give her great splits, but it was so reliable, successful the vast majority of the time. It's a really good cut break she's got, and it's a decent first opportunity. If you just looked at the balls above the triangle line, the yellows are already gone. But there is a problem on yellows.
And there's a couple of problems on reds.
I don't think you can go reds. I just don't think they're there. I think it has to be yellows. Well, that is a good first shot.
I think she was planning just to come down the right-hand side of the table, play the short position rather than doing anything more at the bottom here. The yellow does go bottom left. No, she couldn't get down there because she had too much angle, so she's played the cannon. It's actually worked out okay. She's on the one to top left. It's not an easy bit of queuing, but she has another shot and she's popped open her ball.
Yeah, I don't think she'll mind this. I think that's pretty much one of the things she was expecting.
It won't drop for her. I think it's going to be the double. And then it's all the reds at the bottom are fine. It's just one more at the top. She's hoping that if the double doesn't land, it at least blocks the pocket, even if it would be a simple enough loss of turn. tricky plant she was taking on. I thought she'd get closer than that. So tricky opening frame here. The layout looked good, but it's not really proved to be. Kirsty's had a couple of stabs at it, and now Emma's going to get her own go here. Touch straight shouldn't really prove to be a problem. She just needs to get on the one at the top of the table. Yeah, and doesn't try and do too much. This is the shot though. The closer you get to this one, the easier it is to control. This one can go wrong.
Just a reminder that this final is a race to 8. Some high standards to live up to in terms of the previous Women's Pro Series final. The one between Amy Beecham and Harriet Haynes last night was absolutely spectacular. Amazing advert for the women's game. 8-6 it finished. Lovely shot from Emma. Wasn't perfect on that red, but controlled it really well, and of course made a very good pot. One 0 Wookie. It just was a struggle, and she's starting to feel like she's on the verge here of a big win. Kirsty Lee Davis eventually gets a nice split off her break. The one thing that's deserted her, a ball. Everything that could go wrong for the Welsh Wizardess is doing, and you have to feel for her at this point. She'll feel like she's not even played in a final at this rate.
Just one red that's half awkward, but the rest are just there, aren't they? Just that one on the left-hand side above the centre pocket. Oh, got too much into this.
Might just have to be the plant now, but even that's a little bit awkward. Not a great shot from Emma. Oh, she could just feather off the red and sneak through to the middle. That's a good shot. Judged that one really well. Not want to be Chinese on this 8 ball. Looking to play the red to the bottom right, but this is awkward queuing.
Got to dig herself out again.
Extension call.
To be pleased she has her extension. What's she playing here?
I think this one cuts through the gap.
Oh,
what a shot!
What a shot!
Much harder pot, obviously, on the angle, but you could get to the cue ball. That's the reason why. Still not a good angle on one to left centre, but she's digging, and she's digging hard.
Just wonder if there's an angle of a few cushions here to land behind the red. No, she's just going to accept a pretty thin cut. She just made one, she has to make another. Well, wouldn't you know it? Maybe Kirsty Lee Davis is not done just yet. That finish you feel like would have broken the back of the match. 4-1. Still time in it. Right. It's come out more awkward than it needed to. Still okay, got the one to the bottom left if needed.
Got one bottom right that she's nearest to as well. If she's, see how she's feeling, that's the one that can control.
Yeah, good sign she's taking this on, I think.
Once she feels it's certain, just speeds up a little bit, just saving every second. Clock's not really a problem for her right now, but it can become a problem.
Towards the end of this match, her brakes deserted her. Just to almost add insult to injury, it feels like.
Station called.
Yeah, she hit one monster break, but the splits on the rest have been awkward, unkind and difficult. And she's not had the lion's share of chances off it. Miss from Emma means at least Kirsty Lee gets the chance here, but there is one bad red. She's going to try and deal with it straight away. All a bit rushed for her as well. She's just kind of trying to flow, trying to find a rhythm, trying to get something going. She knows she needs to be at pace 4 behind with under 6 to play.
Just in time.
Just.
It's actually in good shape here. Worth the extra time it took on that shot.
Too thin this time. Might have to come down the table.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world. Certainly not for someone who pots as well as Emma does.
That's not ideal though. It's very thin. It's very awkward if she takes it long.
Oh, that was closer.
Yeah, that looked over to me. Well, no one in the arena moved, so
Oh,
maybe there's a slight issue with the shot clock then, because that certainly was quick.
yeah, that definitely wasn't 15. Referee and timer seem okay with it.
Yeah.
Ooh, not quite. Finally in position. on the 8 ball. First time in the visit she was in perfect position. And wouldn't you know, she didn't get there. Not that it will matter.
No, not with 3:29 left.
Oh, shot. Needs another. Yeah, she's not 100% comfy on this shot clock at all, is she?
No, the 15's catching her out, but she can smile about it. But it'll be slightly irritating her that she can't smash through the door. You know, she knows in her heart of hearts she's won this match, and Kirsty knows in her heart of hearts she's lost this match. But it's not how Emma wants to finish it.
Kirsty's out here playing on a 5-second match clock. Oh, not to be. So Emma can roll this one in. Not a shot she usually likes, but no choice off the bottom cush. Lovely.
It's a race to 8. They don't realise it's a race to 8. So Kirsty Lee's conceding.
Emma can see the funny side. Kirsty isn't.
That's why I think Emma was actually getting more laughing so much before, was because I think she thought it was a race to 7 as well, and she thought she kept missing the match ball.
Well, Kirsty wants to concede. Yeah, they're going to hug and say that's that. Your Women's Pro Series 2 champion is Emma Cunningham.